Hey, I'm John Harris here for the Gospel Coalition interview.
Hey, Bro Cephas of Arimathea, come on in, sit right down. Let's get down to beeswax. So I didn't get the chance to look at your resume, just totally busy, life is crazy. I figured it'd probably be more organic, more natural to sort of just have you sit down, tell me about yourself and what you have to offer us, as far as, I don't really like the word qualification, I prefer the word experience because, experience is more realistic to what you actually are, and who you are, how you've been in the past. So tell me about yourself.
Well, I have 2 graduate degrees, one in theology, one in history. I also have some qualifications in philosophy and apologetics, and I think maybe I can help you with the website a little bit. I've written a number of blogs and articles and books, and I actually have some to give to you today as samples in my portfolio, but I'm a historian, I'm a theologian, and somewhat of an amateur philosopher.
Ben, I'm glad you said that, because we here at the Gospel Coalition are about one thing and one thing only, and a bunch of other stuff as well, but mainly cultural engagement. We are here to take the culture, put them in a box, shake the box up, take it out, engage with that, whatever's in there. And, history, philosophy, what are these? These are things that people do to learn. And what is learning? Learning is growth, and that is what we're all about.
Well, actually, my name's John, not Ben, but I did bring my portfolio, so I have a few articles here that I've written, and I think they're pretty good. One is on why borders are biblical. I have another one on Jordan Peterson, responsibility and being a living sacrifice. I have one on the free market, and it's called the biblical free market, and why homosexuality is sinful, and then another one on Reformed theology and traditional women's roles. So I hope that maybe this helps you make a decision, an educated one, on whether I'm a good fit for the Gospel Coalition.
Thanks, Ben. I see. Busy bee there. There are some concerning things here. The vision of the Gospel Coalition. So borders. It's a word we're not really big on. Jordan Peterson. Not massive fans at this point. And then there's some things, you got to remember there's sort of cultural touchstones, free market. There's, associations that we need to be aware of with these things. Now, you have homosexuality and sinful in the same sentence, and we have a strict policy about that. Reformed theology and traditional women's roles, we can only use tradition when referring to slavery, civil rights, or every once in a while stoning in the Old Testament, but we have a very, very strict policy about that as well. But I can go over that. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. But there are a few issues here. You know what? But what we have here more than anything else is grace. So that's excellent.
Oh, well, okay. Well, maybe you could explain to me a little more, like fine-tune your objections to what I just handed you. I know you haven't read them all, but maybe we could break it down by category, and we could go over kind of like where the Gospel Coalition stands, so I can understand, and maybe I can rework some of this stuff so it will be good for your audience and you'll like it.
What might even be better than that is, you could look at some of the excellent work that some of our other writers have done, and you could sort of use that as a springboard to really get into what we're looking for and really what we believe that God is looking for. We have several different categories. Pop culture, so for example, Black Panther and the Longing for Home, how to talk to your kids about Shazam, Reformed theology. Obviously, we're an organization that values Reformed theology, so something like let the church be the church, Calvin's theology of social justice, something like that. Politics, like I said, it's all about cultural engagement. So is Black Lives Matter the new civil rights movement? That would be a good one to look at. We await repentance for assassinating Dr. King. These are the kind of things that I think we really believe can engage with the culture in a way that will help the church.
Okay, I think I see what you're saying. I have an article that I wasn't gonna give you, but maybe I could rework it. It's on the priesthood of all believers, the Reformation doctrine, which I know you guys are about here, but like maybe I could rework it as kind of like an egalitarian document because it's all about like equality before God and being your own priest. So I mean, check it out. Maybe this will work.
I like this. I like this. This is the kind of, yeah, this is a little closer. There's just some things, okay? I'm not sure what priesthood of all believers means or egalitarian or document. But I think if we said something like maybe how John Calvin sowed the seeds of the Me Too movement, that would be something worth looking at. I think you're kind of the same thing, but it's in language that's more culturally engaged, which I think is what we're looking for here.
Okay, well, I do have another document that I wasn't going to give you, but this is just a blog I wrote, from my personal social media accounts, and it's on superhero movies and how they show us how bad our culture's getting. So, maybe that's more culturally engaging. Would that work?
I love the idea. It's just the language is a little harsh, I think, for us. We want to be a crowbar, not a sledgehammer. How about this? Spoiler warning: 5 ways that Iron Man's sacrifice at the end of Endgame reflects the atonement. I think this could work. Little tweaking, little moving around, maybe some of your harsher language to something that's a little bit more culturally engaging. What we're looking for is things like this. I'll read you a couple pitches that I've gotten just in the last couple of hours. Hulu for the Glory of God, for example. Game of Thrones, Borders, and Substitutionary Atonement. 10 ways avocado toast can impact your ministry. How 19th century colonization of Africa still impacts your church plant. Church sound guy, it's okay not to be okay. And of course, the one is a little more controversial, but we don't shy away from controversy. What if whiteness actually killed Malcolm X? So these are the kind of things that we're looking to explore.
Okay, I think I actually get it now. So the portfolio I gave you, like what if I change some of these titles, like why borders are biblical? I could say something like why borders aren't biblical. And for the other one, Jordan Peterson, responsibility and being a living sacrifice, maybe we could do it on every tribe, tongue, and nation except Jordan Peterson. Or maybe the biblical free market, we could say Acts 2, Karl Marx, and the need for economic equality in the church. Would that work?
Bro, there's an IPA in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. It's called UP Balderdash. You are smoother than that IPA.
Oh, cool. I'm glad you like it. Okay, so maybe for the one that I gave you on why homosexuality is sinful, instead we could title it, and I could just change a few things around. We could call it, most homosexuals aren't actually cold-blooded sinners, they're just scared. And then for Reformed theology and traditional women's roles, we could do one on Susan B. Anthony, Beth Moore, and the struggle for women's equality in the church.
You got it. Tell you what, I'm going to drop some papers. We're going to get you on board with us real quick.
Oh, thank you so much. Oh, man, I'm so excited. Thank you for this interview. This has been, it's more than just an interview. I think I learned something in this. Oh, man, I appreciate it. I'm indebted to you.
No, man, the pleasure is ours. We're always looking for great not talent, people that God has blessed with this gift is what we're looking for. We can. I actually have to run out because I'm playing racquetball with Russell Moore this afternoon. But perhaps we can pray maybe for a couple hours, and then we can get you signed on. We'll be good.